is to get stronger RFPs. Um, Not necessarily in the content per se, meaning that the ones who know what they want are the stakeholders, but the structure and the information that is necessary for consultants to submit great proposals, that procurement knows. And the whole point of the process is to get strong proposal to choose from. So when you build a strong RFP and then you have all the right information, then it's easier for consultants to decide if it's worth their time to submit a proposal, what is expected in a proposal, how the process will look like, how will the proposal be evaluated. All of this that is very procurement will be very important for consultants. And so the what is to be done is of course super important, but how we will make our decision and how we will select the consultants is very important for the consultants as well. So you need to have both. And unless you are a former procurement professional, you may not know how to structure that. So that's the first thing. The second thing is a fair selection process. So when you bring consultants to the table, you should always do it in a way where you give all consultants a fair chance to win the project. And that means that there are a lot of little steps in the process to do that. The first step is, of course, in the RFP, making sure that they have enough information. But then they also, along the process, have a Q&A that works, brief consultants so they're all on the same foot. And all of this makes a fair selection process. Another benefit is better negotiations. Again, when you negotiate consulting, you negotiate the price, of course, but also the scope and the timeline and staffing. And when you're early on the process, you have access to all those levers. When you arrive at the very, very end, when everything is set and the scope is fixed and the consultant is chosen and the staff is already, there's not much left to negotiate. And you hit into the commercial effort and you can't get very far with that. So that's also important. You have better negotiation, but also negotiation that are easier in the sense that you can work with the consultants. While when you're only negotiating to push for a commercial effort without changing anything, you tap into their margin and they're not very, very happy with that. So they will not, you know, they will reluctantly give you some discount. That's not something that really builds a long-term beneficial relationship. And then when you have chosen your consultants, what's important is to have solid SRW terms. And that's something that, and again, building an SRW and having a great consulting agreement, it's something that is extremely important for the rest of your project, but it's rarely done right if procurement is not involved. So that's another huge benefit on a risk management standpoint that procurement bring to the table.